All righty, folks. Over the weekend, I did a free event where I kind of talked about how to get started today in a high price, high interest rate environment. At the end of that, I shared a brainstorm idea I'm talking about doing with 50 folks to create brand new and fresh content. I haven't really thought about this a lot, but Michael here reached out to me and said, "Hey, tell me more. I might be interested." And I'm like, you know what? Let's figure out what questions people have because I'm sure there are a lot of them. So, Michael, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, first off, what'd you think of the event? Again, PowerPoint is not something I like to do, but I thought it was the best thing to kind of keep everybody focused. Why don't we start there?
For the most part, I thought, I've been to a couple of your events.
Okay.
Um, and I think you always, you bring a lot of value. So I would say overall, it was a pretty good event. I liked it.
Okay, cool. Very cool. I certainly was frustrated at the beginning when the Zoom update muted my recording. That threw me off. And then I didn't have a moderator, and apparently there were some people leaving lots of crazy comments, which was unfortunate. But hey, it is what it is. But Michael, you reached out to me and basically said, "Tell me more. I might be interested. I might not in what you were doing. So ask away."
Yeah. So, well, there's two sides of it, right? I'm
Sure.
definitely interested because, this is a huge goal for me moving forward in my life is my end goal. I guess I should just start there. A lot of times they say start with the end in mind.
Sure.
My end goal is to be a landlord and to have basically done what you do. That's why I watch
Okay.
your content, right? Because you've already done. And what's funny is I'm in the technology field. Um, you know, I'm a I run the sales organization for a technology company.
Ah,
Um,
yes, we share the same. We share the same experiences.
right,
Yes.
right. I'm a sales guy. Like yourself. Oh, you come from finance background, but you did sales, so
Oh yeah,
um,
sales is sale. I love the OTE. That got me excited and got me out of bed every day.
right. And I'm a sales guy myself, and I've always bet on myself. Like whenever it's come to a job, and they said, hey, we can increase your percentage of commission, or we can increase your base. It's never been a question. It's always been
Yeah,
like,
always commission.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And just like how many
Yeah,
percent,
I don't
right?
play for the OTE. I want to know what the accelerator money is. Tell me about the
Right.
accelerators. Yeah,
Right, right.
that's funny.
And and I've been in real estate before. I was a agent out in. See, I live in Texas.
Mhm.
I was born in the South. I'll die in the South. But I lived a big portion of my life, the biggest portion of my life by far, in Southern California,
Okay.
Orange County, Riverside County.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so and I was a real estate agent out there for a couple of years during the boom.
Mhm.
And I did pretty well. I did some fix and flips and some other stuff,
Okay.
and I did pretty well during that 3 4 year period. Um, and I just loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it. And
Cool.
then I let myself get drawn into other things. And then, a few years later, next thing you know, I'm, a sales trainer and I'm working a nine to
Yeah.
five and,
Gotcha.
whatever. And it was
Okay.
all good. I'm grateful for the opportunities I've had and I'm grateful for what I have now. I'm not saying anything negative,
Yeah.
but I want to set myself up for the future as well as a big motivation to me is to be able to take care of. I have a daughter that's in college, and I was blessed. She's actually up by you in San Francisco
Okay.
at an art school, and you'd be
Like
amazed.
University of Arts. U Arts, is that the one?
In my yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head the name of the school,
Yeah.
but yeah, she's got a
That's
full
yeah.
ride there, and she
Oh,
lives on
nice.
campus there. Yeah, thank God,
Very
because
cool.
you put the price of it's an art school. Like, how do they
Yeah, no,
justify charge?
it's funny you bring this up. I don't know if you know this about my story, but my daughter went to art school as well, and we visited
Oh,
that campus. It was nuts a decade ago, or shoot,
right.
12 years ago. I couldn't imagine what it is now.
Yeah, I'll put it this way: like I make a good living, but if she didn't have the financial aid that she has, um, I probably wouldn't be able to afford to pay for it. She'd have to
Yeah,
take out loans and other stuff.
yeah, it's
You know what
crazy.
I mean? It's just
Yeah.
it's wild.
Okay.
But so I want to have basically I want to build something that one takes care of me as I get older and gives
Sure.
me some financial freedom, and then two something that I can bring her into because she has interest as well. Bring her
Oh,
into and yeah, and she's a
oh,
go getter.
you got lucky. You got lucky there. My daughter Teresa has zero interest in that,
No,
so that's pretty good.
she's an entrepreneur by heart. She when she was in high school, she was painting sneakers for like commissions and
Ah,
stuff
Okay.
like that. So she's interested in, anything like that. She's real interested in.
All right. I
And
got
so
you.
I'd like to have something that I can bring her into, and she can do her art thing and all that as well. But teach her and bring her into it, and then have something to leave to her when I'm gone.
Yeah,
Leave
and
her.
you could get on this journey together. That's
Right,
a lot of parents or adults, they kind of get to a point where they leave something to the kids, but they weren't a part of the journey or part of building it. Um, I think that's so cool that you could do that together. So that's pretty awesome.
right. And so, basically, my thought process is that, I'll get in, I'll get it going. Hopefully I can get a few things going successfully. And then, she's going into her junior year this year. So by the time she gets out, hopefully I'll have something going
Yeah,
and I can just bring her in and
2025. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And and I
I
just want to
like it.
leave her in a better place than, I've always had to hustle, which is fine.
Yeah.
It's made me who I am, right? But
Yeah.
I want to leave her in a better place than what I had, just because,
Amen.
I
Good job, Dad.
she's all I have. You know what I mean? So
Amen
I'm
to
a
that.
single father. Me and her mother haven't been together in a long, long time since she was like, I think we broke up when she was 1 or 2.
Oh
And we
wow.
don't have a
Okay.
bad relationship or nothing. She's a good person too. She's done a great job as well. So there's no negative animosity or anything like that. But
Oh, that's good.
my daughter is all I have, and I want to make sure that I take care of her the best I can.
I like it. I like that goal. That's good. Okay.
And
So
so
that's the
basically,
why.
yeah, that's the why, that's the end goal. My questions would be like, uh, what does the program look like, and what does the ideal candidate look like? What would make me a good fit or a bad fit?
Yeah, so let's just have an honest discussion because I am still trying to figure this out. I have identified a hole based on that presentation, and I don't think everybody is a right fit. This is a program that I'm going to do
Right.
one time
Yeah.
because I have no because basically what I am signing up for is a 10-day, probably spread out over 6 months, 20 hours of my life that I'm going to do one time. Because the goal for me is I want to record these, package it up, and then it becomes repeatable for hundreds or thousands of people later. So
Right.
to answer the question, um, it's going to be someone, if you're going to be one of the 50 people, um, you're probably going to be early in the cycle because the first kind of 3 days, as I've outlined, or scheduled days, is going to be just what market do I pick? My first course, which has helped thousands of people, how to get started one rental at a time, I guess unfairly starts with build a buy box, right? How to do that. And what I've come to realize speaking at more and more real estate meetups is that is wildly helpful, but there's a step that some people are missing. Like, help me pick a market. I live in San Diego. I live in Austin. I live in Miami. I can't invest here. Where do I go? So anybody who wants to do this event, probably the first 3 days need to be valuable. So you're probably there. You probably don't have a market in mind. Second, you probably don't understand the basics of real estate investing. So you may not be a candidate, right? You've done this before. You've been in the game. You know how to do, you know how to cost things, what things look at. Um, you know how to network. You're a sales guy. What is one thing a sales guy does is we talk to people. A lot of people live behind a computer, and the idea of, like, if I were to challenge you to meet 2 new people a week, you'd be like, dude, I'm done on Monday. What's next? Some people that freaks them out,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, I don't think, I know this isn't for everyone, and I'm okay with that. So again, the other thing I would require is, we're going to do these 10 days. It's probably going to be on the weekends for most people to probably make it sense. I'm
Right.
hoping that 80% of the people show up to each event. Like if you can't make one because of scheduling, so be it. Um, that's important to me. I need people to ask questions because, again, I don't think this has been done before. So every day, every session, we're gonna, okay, what's next? Where's everybody at? Where should we go next? So I think we're gonna build this together. It's not like I have a syllabus. In the event, I gave you a rough outline of what I think the 10 days are. But dude, after the first day, we're gonna build this together. And there's a chance I bring in other contributors if we want to go that way. So again, this is very much a work in process. This is not paint by numbers because I know there's a need, but I don't know what I'm doing. I know I'm only going to do it once. It is $1,000. I am going to give away everything else. So again, how to get started, get your money right, all that other stuff comes with it because I want to give a crazy value.
Sure.
But I still think for most people, the right idea is go spend $399 and get started today. So that, I mean, honestly, like I think hopefully said in the episode, Most people should not do this, right? This is $1,000 that most people shouldn't spend. You're going to get, most people get value out of the $400. So that's kind of where I at, but I rambled. So ask more questions.
So, like I'll just start at right at the top. So the first thing you talked about was, what market,
Mhm.
buy box, how to build it, where you should go, so forth. So I don't have one particularly. I have some in mind that I watch
Yeah.
every day, but I haven't invested in any of them yet. So I'm brand new to it,
Okay. So we would
Um,
talk about stuff like that. See, those are things we would talk about in the first, and possibly the second time. Because what I'm envisioning, and I think day one and day two said this, is we're going to talk about that. What do I think makes a good market to shop in or learn?
right,
And then I'm going to unleash you, and then we come back in 2 or 3 weeks and go, okay, what'd you find? What'd you do?
right.
What'd you do? What?
And
So
see,
those are things I'm thinking.
and I'm open to the only thing that I have in my head that's important to me is that I can get to it within 2 hours. I feel like that's really important to me. I
Yeah,
wanna
me
be
too.
able to.
Now let me ask you a question. Let me just for everyone.
Sure,
Is that
sure.
2 hours by driving or 2 hours by flying?
Driving,
Bingo. Okay. Yeah, I
driving.
think that's
So,
important too.
but a good thing about that for me, I think, I mean, I could be wrong because, like I said, I don't really know anything, but um, is I'm really centrally located.
Hmm.
I'm an hour from
Like,
Austin.
okay, an
I'm
hour.
an
Okay.
hour from Austin. I'm 2.5 hours from Dallas. I'm 2 hours from Houston.
Oh
Two and a half
wow.
hours from San
There's
Antonio.
there's got to be.
And there's another market that I'm less than an hour from that I'm real interested in that I'd like to talk to you about.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't. That's the thing. If we talk about it and you say, hey, based on my experience, we should probably go this way instead of this way. That's why I'm coming to you. I'm open to
Yeah, that
whatever.
hopefully my reputation precedes me and you've seen it is if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you the answer, but I don't promise you're going to like the answer.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. That's why I just didn't get the course by itself. I like,
Mhm.
even though I am a sales guy and I have no hesitation to call, but I like being held accountable.
Yeah. Well,
That's the thing for me.
that's what I'm trying to build, right? My end goal of this, after we do 10 sessions with 50 people live, because again, when you do it with 50 people, see, this is my conundrum. I could take 6 months, create my own syllabus, create content, but it's my experience, my world. I want 40, 50 people on the phone to ask the question that's important to them because I guarantee you half of them and probably more I wouldn't have thought of, and that's what will be valuable. So that's why I think it's the right answer.
I think it would be immensely valuable because who knows all the roadblocks that you guys run into and all the different markets with the different trends and everything else, right? So,
Yeah.
I
And
think I think it
yeah.
would be immensely
And I think
valuable.
there's a lot of people like you who say, Michael, I get it. I watch you. I get the buy box, but I just don't know where to start. I have 3 or 4 markets I'm watching. Let me be very clear. My goal after day two, maybe day three, is you are looking at one market and then we start working on a buy box in that market. We will answer every question like, hey, what about this? What about that? And I may not know the answer, but we will figure it out and get that's the whole idea. Like we meet, I don't know what day is it today? The
Wednesday.
16th. Let's
Yeah.
say let's say we met the day one on the 16th. We won't have day two for 3 weeks because I'm going to expect you to do homework and I'll probably have homework. Right. And then we'll come in and we'll summarize the homework day two. I'll share what I took away and where, well, I think the best way to build something is get 50 real live people who are struggling and we just do it together. That's what I'm
Right.
that's what I'm thinking.
That's what interested me, just to have somebody to bounce the ideas off of, hold me accountable, maybe tell me like, hey, based on my experience, that might not be the best route. Maybe try
Yeah.
this instead.
Yeah. Don't go
Um,
left, go right. Yeah.
right, that kind of thing. Because I know a little bit about a little bit, but I'll tell you right now, I don't know a lot about a whole lot, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And
so
the key at the end of this is you're going to be locked into a market. Your buy box will be built and you will, all I can promise, this is my goal at the end of this is you will know what an average deal is in your market. Again, I have never promised
oh,
and never will that you'll buy a deal because
that's
maybe you don't, maybe the market's not right for you, or maybe the return's too low, or who knows, but I will promise you'll learn the skill.
yeah, and that's and that's the most valuable part, because then if that's not the right market, right, you just pivot to a new market,
Yeah.
you
And
know
once you have the skill,
Right.
It is immensely faster the next time.
Like you went from Fresno, now you're pivoting to Las Vegas,
Vegas.
right?
Exactly.
But you
Yeah.
have the skill built
Yeah. In
already.
reality, let's talk about the full story. I started in the Bay Area. I tried to buy in Palo Alto, in Mountain View, in
Oh,
Cupertino
wow.
for a year. I should have stopped after 6 months, but I was all the dude 20 years ago, Michael. All the books said buy in your backyard.
Right.
So my idiot brain would not allow me to figure out for a year that I can't create cash flow in the Bay Area. It's obvious now, but I didn't know any better 20 years ago. Somebody should have told me, stop looking in the Bay Area, you silly person. Go elsewhere. And then I went
Right.
to Fresno, and now we're going to start this journey in Vegas.
Right. Which is probably pretty exciting.
No, yeah, it's yeah. Once I get past this, move into this new place, it'll be go time.
And if you don't mind me asking, it's a little bit, but
Yeah.
what made you want to go to like actually move from where you live?
So the first answer is I never thought I would leave the Bay Area.
Right.
I've been there 51 years. Obviously, I no longer work. I retired over 5 years ago now, 6 years ago actually. And so, what do Olivia and I do for fun? We like to eat out. And unfortunately, we had lots of favorite restaurants, and we ate out 10 times a week. We were spoiled. That was our thing.
Right.
Ever since the pandemic, food quality and service has gone way down. Um, and it's gone way down. And half our favorite restaurants have closed. So we came
Right.
to Vegas. We spent a month here. We ate out twice a day for 30 days, and every restaurant was awesome and cheaper. That's our thing, Michael. That's what
Well,
we like to do. So,
yeah, well, it's the same. Like I left California in 19, right before the pandemic.
okay.
But I would have to come back because my daughter's senior year was 2020, I believe is the year she graduated high school.
Oh, wow.
So I was still coming back quite a bit to visit her. I came back to Texas. The whole reason I moved to Texas was, well, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the big reasons was what I like to do is hunt and fish.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah.
And Texas was just, and that's where the roots of my family. My mom was born here as well, and like I said, I was born in the South. I'll die in the South, but
Right.
basically the same story that you just gave. Like I wanted to go be close to where I could do what I wanted
It's
to
a
do the most.
lifestyle thing. Yeah.
Right, right,
A lot of people, a lot of people don't believe me, and frankly, I don't care. They're like, no, 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 you moved because of taxes. Dude, if I would have moved to taxes, I would have moved when I was a sales guy making all that money.
right,
Right. It would have benefited me a long time ago. I did not
right.
move because of taxes. Now, is it a plus? Sure.
Yeah.
It was not in the top 10. It was nowhere on. I don't do anything because of taxes. It's
Oh, I
just
know.
part of the game.
But I'll tell you this, it did blow me away when I got my first paycheck living in Texas and not seeing,
I bet.
I'm not gonna lie, not seeing a state
Where's
income
that
tax.
13.3% go? Where'd that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah, you see, my mom's a controller and a CPA, so I'm always aware of that stuff, and
Yeah, it's
she's always
funny.
done my books, so I was aware of that. I will not lie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, and the other thing is I don't know that this course is going to happen, right? This fifth because again, I don't know. I want to do it with 50 people,
Right.
right? I think I've talked to 5 people. If we
Okay.
only ever get 12 or 13 people, I don't know that that's enough to get started,
Okay.
right? So, you know, I would tell you not to buy the 997. Just tell me you're interested. We'll worry about it later. Buy the 300 because again, you can at least get started, and I know that works.
Right.
I think what I'm going to tell people is if this excites you, you got to let me know. I'll track them. If we get to like 25, maybe that's good enough. But if you really want to get started, how to get started one rental at a time is already helping people. It's $3.99. It's going to come in the free course, and I'll just credit the other one. So you'll always be money. But yeah, I don't know if this is going to get off the ground. I don't know if it's going
Okay.
to happen. I feel good. I know there's a need, but if I don't get 50 people interested, then don't spend the money. And I would tell you today, don't spend the money. If you want to get started, the 399 is out there. You get the good thing about the 399 that most people don't realize is you'll join the Facebook group. Dozens of posts a day. You'll meet people in Texas. You'll network. You get accountability groups going. There's thousands of people, and it's the happiest place because everybody's doing the work, posting wins, asking
Right.
questions. And the fact that that is free, I could charge for that, and I won't because I want to keep it just students. So Um, that will be a step in the right direction, I think.
No, that sounds good. Well, I'm definitely interested.
Okay.
I'll just, like I said, I'll just follow your advice beginning now, and I'll just get
Yeah,
the
get the 399. Folks,
right.
if
And
you
then
want to
if
get a part of the first 50, let me know. Leave a comment below. Send me a DM on IG. If I can get a collection of, I don't want your money. The $1,000 that's out there, don't buy it. I might even take it down. Don't buy it because I don't want people to buy it. Then we don't do it. Then I refund money. Just tell me you're good. Go do the how to get started. It's helping people. I know it works. Um, then I get a list and then I'll email you. Still interested? Great. There's an upload. There's a charge of X, and it will just be
right,
simple math. 997 minus 399 equals blah.
right.
It shouldn't be a secret. So that's what I'm thinking, Michael.
Well, that sounds good. Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'd like to do it. If you do it, if not, I'll just follow your advice and buy the
Yeah,
399 course starting right now. And then if you do decide to do it, I'd like to be one of the first 50 if you have
yeah,
room
and
for me.
absolutely. And then one more thing to do. The first thing I would do after buying the course is join the Facebook group, which I have to approve. But introduce yourself. I'm Michael.
Okay.
I'm in Texas. I've been thinking about these markets. You'll be amazed at what you'll get from the audience. And
Okay.
there'll be people. I would suspect Texas is such a big market in my group that if there isn't, there will be an accountability group. Folks, if you're watching this and you're in Texas, let's get an accountability group going in Texas so you can all hold each other accountable and move forward. And maybe I'll join one of your calls over the next 6 months just to encourage that behavior. So, Michael, any last thoughts?
No, thank you for taking the time.
No, I wish more people would ask questions. I know there's a hole here, but we'll see if people are interested. So otherwise, we'll just stick with the how to get started one rental at a time. Thanks, buddy. Bye.